When you visit the Panhandle Railroad Museum in Wellington, one thing becomes apparent when you walk in. There's a lot of stuff to look at. I wish someone would tell us a little bit about the museum and all the neat things you can look at. Excuse me, could you tell me a little bit about the museum? I guess not. How about you? Do you know how long the museum has been here? Sheesh. Hey, can you help me? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Hey, maybe this lady can help. That's Shelley Wiley. She and her husband run the museum. Surely she knows what goes on around here.
We opened up the museum in 2005. We decided to open up the museum because my husband had started collecting railroad stuff when he was working for the railroad, and we ran out of room in our basement. And we decided that there needed to be a place that we could display all of this.
Wiley says there are lots of interesting things to see at the museum. She says people often donate items. However, she says most of the items actually came from her and her husband's personal collection.
We have the safe and the counter from the Railway Express office that was here in Wellington. We have the original doors off of the Harvey House that was here in Wellington. And we have a wheat picture of the depot, Harvey House, and the freight office. We have a desk from our old office building that used to be here in Wellington. We have several clocks. I have a telegraph handset hooked up to a battery. If anybody knows Morse code, they can use the telegraph key and they can hear it over the sounding bar. We have a nice selection of switch locks and switch keys and just numerous things.
Wiley says one of the most interesting items is this strange contraption.
We have what was the first thing that was ever rode to check the tracks with. It's a bicycle apparatus. It's called a velocipede. And it was made for a single man to sit on. It's, like I said, it works like a bicycle. He would pull the handle back and forth, and he had a deal that extended over to the other track. That way he checked the track he was on, and then he also checked the other track at the same time.
The museum also has a giant piece of history sitting right on its front lawn. Wiley says the railroad gave the train engine to the city in about 1965. She says she believes the train was built around 1916. Kids of all ages can come and climb aboard the massive steam engine. Then they can imagine what it might have been like to ride the rails during Wellington's golden years as a thriving railroad community. Wiley says she has a personal connection to the railroad. Both her father and her husband worked for the railroad for many years. She says she thinks everyone should learn about Wellington's rich history as a railroad town.
To me, history is important. And there's so many young people out there nowadays that don't know a lot about history. And I would like to encourage people that have grandchildren or know of some child that needs to be able to see what things used to be like.
Wiley says the museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4. She says there is no admission price, but you can leave a donation of any size. It's these donations that keep the Panhandle Railroad Museum up and running. For Channel 55, I'm Caleb Johnston.